Now, the best way to start to correctly sync the body movements with the correct hand and arm motion is to firstly isolate the hand and arm motion.
The answer to the golf swing, that's like, well, you know, what is the way to learn it that is the easiest?
To be honest, it is so much more natural than, because we've got 1,001 coaches offering 1,001 opinions.
Right.
And if my big argument is, I say, and I do it with Lindsay, my wife, or my kids, or wherever it might be, a youngster, if there's a daisy growing out the ground and you
stand
give
up
them a stick,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
If that's a daisy and I'm not a golfer and I say hit it, you go boom. I say right now hit it a bit harder and you go whack. Now but hit it a bit hard. Get mad at it. You do that. All right. And so you then go and ask a golfer and a golf coach, and when you then get a book this freaking thick
Right,
on it.
that's right.
But if you stood there, and that is what you have to do.
And hit shots with your feet together and learn to get fast, softly, with nice relaxed hands, wrists, arms and shoulders.
But with amateurs, the beginners, what I would say to them is a lot of the time they're much better if they can keep the body action more consistent. So this is the top tip for amateurs. They will hit the ball much more consistently if they stand there with the feet together with that little bit of spiral in the body, feet, ankles, knees up, arms up, slam your arms down and move. At least your body's going to be consistent there, so your bottom of the arc's going to be more consistent. So you'll strike it more consistent. So in the end, you'll be more consistent towards the target.
And gain control over the club face, which is in your hands.
So assuming a good grip, we want to control the face. Now, the only thing that controls the face is your hands, okay? Your body does not control the face, okay? Your body has an influence over where your hands are, but ultimately your hands determine where that face is, okay? So you can be moving your body as much as you like in one direction. It doesn't necessarily mean the face is going to follow it. Your face will follow whatever that wrist is going to do. So we've got to learn where your hands and where your wrist is at during a golf swing.
And react to the target to ensure that the backbone of the swing path, plane, direction is on track.
We just constantly see amateur golfers, and they get there and they're in such a hurry. They think that the more they turn this body is going to create speed. But if that shaft is anywhere ahead of the club like that, you're losing all the speed. And the other alternative, you might flip it.
You might flip
But
it.
this turn is a disaster for it's a killer. So by practicing here, and a lot of times
let your arms fall.
Your arms are going to work in sequence. You're not going to do silly things like this. You're going to get nice motion going.
Yeah.
Now it's time to sync your body movements and rotation into your hand, arm and wrist motion. The feeling is going to be generally a bigger turn in relation to that of the arm swing. Because if the swing is too hands and armsy, as you introduce the body, you'll tend to disconnect and overswing. On the flip side, too much turn in relation to your hand and arm swing can become too rigid and slow and weak. Now don't forget that the hands and arms and wrists are the speed generators, and the swinging motion pulls the body rotation with it.
We're using a little bit of gravity in the downswing, so we're not forcing anything at this stage, and we're just going, flicking it back and forth. A lot of hands and arms. The feet are moving and following the hands and arms, as you can see, okay? Just a nice motion.
Go with the Apex irons, a standard blade 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to pitching.
And I used to tell Led's a buddy of mine. So I said, you know, your dog wagging the tail wag, you're working a lot with arms and hands and wrists too. So don't, you know, you're better than that. In other words, don't just think that I'm going to take a grip and stick it to my belt and just start moving my body around. I go, the body has its movement, arms, hands, wrists. Golf club's got its movements. It's the blend of the two. And I could see what they were doing, you know, just from afar. And I would talk to David about it when we were on tour. And
So you need the correct combination to get the most out of your body. But obviously flexibility plays a big part in this. Now if a golfer is very flexible, I'll tell them to do a half backswing with a big turn. And generally they'll be bang on at the top. Now on the flip side, for the golfer that struggles with flexibility and needs more club head speed and hand and arm and wrist motion, I'll tell them to feel like they're swinging way past parallel with the hands and arms to encourage more leverage and put them in a better position at the top. More swing to get the speed producers, the hands, the arms and the wrists active, very active. Now the body follows the hands. Allow the feet, the legs and the hips to freely move and follow the hand and arm motion.
Yeah. Let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stood there without thinking, you would do that. Okay, so that's a hell of a good start. And then if you then learn to get a bit of this going.
He's got a little power.
The jacks.
Yeah.
And just start moving your body from right to left, around in a circle, holding your elbows in your side, right in your side. Now we can't go around a golf course doing this all day, so we must lengthen this swing somewhere or other. You see, this is an absolutely full swing.
But if you stood there, and that is what you have to do. And then people will go, well, the elbow is Jackins flying, it's wrong. Okay, and I have to say, I hope you don't teach this, otherwise we will fall out.
Sure. No, you got to get.
Now most golfers are way too tense, which kills speed and control and often leads to injury. Now it's about matching everything up and find a balance of control and freedom in your golf swing. Great shot, that. Look at that. Hey? No messing.
Somewhere inside haunting, like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.